The only comment I have at this stage is to acknowledge and appreciate the two panelists and the depth of the contributions that they have made. I've been following the chat box and I can see that there are really vibrant, very vibrant suggestions here. But again, I think Lady K, if you don't mind, I hope he is still there. I mentioned in my presentation the case of somebody who manufactures toothpaste that I believe are of the greatest standards. He shared with me the challenges over the past 1.5 years of him going it alone. You remember I said, I don't like talking, our government must do this, government must do that. But if you look at the cost of actually trying to launch into the international market. So I don't know, maybe before you open the floor, maybe you want to ask Mr. Macaulay to share his experiences. Thank you.
I would believe that that's Emmanuel Macaulay. Is that him?
I think so.
Okay. Yes, I am. Good evening, all. It's a wonderful thing to be here. My name is Emmanuel Oscar Macaulay. I'm a manufacturer. My company name is McDaniel Personal Care Limited, located in Abeokuta Industrial Estate, Ogun State.
Thank you. Please, you have 5 minutes.
Yeah, fine. We are manufacturers of premium quality products, and the vision is generally you find out that most manufacturers, 90% of manufacturers in Nigeria, or close to 95, are foreigners. As a foreigner, they have come here to make money. They have come here to make money. But we looked at it and say, what is the real challenge Nigerians are having, or why products manufactured in Nigeria face some this kind of discrimination? And it is basically due to standards. Well, for a foreigner coming here to manufacture a product, what he does is going by the minimum standard acceptable by regulators. But we went ahead to procure the best of equipment from Europe. And today, if I share our products with you, you see that they are premium products, well packaged, meeting international standards. And okay, fine, enough of that. In the last 1 year, we've been trying to get across to the international markets. We've sent samples to retailers worldwide, Walmart, Amazon, and to some other ones in the UK. But the challenge we have is, one, regulators overseas. Okay, a case in point is Canada. We would like to export our products to Canada. We want to take the risk of exporting our products to Canada, but we have challenges with regulators there. There is a thin line. From our experience in NAFDAC here, our local regulator, there is a thin line. For example, the toothpaste, let's say it could fall to a drug, it could be classified as a drug if you make some claims, and it could be classified as cosmetic if there are no claims. And what you consider a claim in one country is different from what others say. In Nigeria, it may not necessarily be a claim. In Canada, it could be a claim. And the challenge we have is, okay, how do we go through the process of regulators in Canada? We have that challenge. We try to talk to consultants. We are not making it. And we are ready to export our product to Canada on our own, even get a warehouse to put it there. But what we were made to understand by Mr. Boyede that, look, for it to be in the retail stand, especially with big retailers, we have to pay on a monthly basis to, for example, Costco, about 1,000 Canadian dollars for displaying our products until it generates enough consumer uptake before we will be given another. So those are the challenges we are facing. So we were thinking that, okay, on this, through going through this particular forum, we may have people of like minds that, look, this is what we want to do. We can join hands to do it. And that is why I'm here this evening by our time here. Thank you very much. I don't want to put at you about so many. Thank you very much, Lady K.
Thank you so very much. I see that. Thank you. We appreciate you sharing this with us. We need a more robust time with you. We really need hands-on to it to understand what is really going on and how we can solve the problems. I see your hand, Femi Boyede, but can Johnny Semede quickly?
No, before John comes in, I was going to actually say it's time for Lady K to open a prophecy house because you took it out of my mouth. Well done, Mr. Macaulay. There's no doubt that we need to bring people like you back again. But what I was actually going to say is a point of information. I don't know if eventually Afishe 2 Brimo is here, but I want to make a commitment on behalf of the team that I think like twice the challenges that Mr. Macaulay has mentioned, the Commissioner of Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives of Edo State has gone through more than twice of that, 2 times those challenges on her own, even before becoming commissioner. So I am going to make a commitment on our behalf that we're going to bring her to take our participants and other joiners through these kinds of challenges. When you are talking about evidence-based solutions, it is listening to people like Macaulay and his toothpaste and jelly and Afi and her honey and everything that we will be able to bring solutions that people like NEPC can actually implement. Thanks for giving me that 1 minute.
Thank you very much. We will now have to reduce the time. We have just about 20 more minutes. So, Johnny Semede, nice to see you all the time. We have actually, Femi Boyede, I think we need to create a different program entirely for our word to be given to our faithfuls. Johnny Semede is one of our faithfuls. Nice
thank you. Thank you very much. Are you hearing me?
Clearly,
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
I don't need any from Boyede. It's like a twin brother. We have been in the struggle for close to 40 years. And we have transversed this continent all for the support of you, others, and children yet unborn. First and foremost, let me thank the organizers, Henry Togo and Co. As far as I'm concerned, there is no problem in international trade. It's just that we are so disjointed. The organized private sector is leading the Nigeria Export Promotion Council alone. But we will not leave the Nigeria Export Promotion Council. I have been in export for a very long time. And government cannot do everything for you. NEPC has taken me, no, NEPC took me to about 27 countries. I have visited more than 50 countries on my own, and I have organized solo exhibitions on my own. We started the export warehouses with Boyede, Hediotowo, the other guy who has retired long time ago. I was able to produce books without government support. So when Boyede came up with that issue of 1984, I was in Yamasukro, but I never took part in any event. It was 1,000 CFA to 1 Naira. Today, as I'm talking to you, I came from Cameroon only yesterday. After working on the Africa Continental Free Trade, looking at logistics and moving things around the West Coast, here in Nigeria, comparing prices in Benin Republic, in Togo and Ghana, I also went to Cameroon. As I'm talking to you, it's 1,200. So exports of fiber is important. It's not a tea party. Even when you are talking of globalization, if you are not prepared, be prepared to fail, because the 54 or 55 countries that have that agreement very soon will be showing us red cards and all that. The biggest problem is that we invested so much in the export processing zones. We are not getting the mileage. And they are not telling us about new markets developed, products leaving the shore, and so also whether they can work with the houses were establishing all over the world. I am a product of Unilever. Under the UAC, Nigerian breweries and others were under one umbrella. Bata Leyland came more than a century ago, like what we are trying to replicate. The Chinatown concept is still very new in our hands. So when you now look at the whole scenario, the MDAs, they are over-regulating. Boyede is sitting there. He can tell you what we did while I was in ULIDO. I was export manager of Unilever, and I was a gold medalist. In Cowbell, 14 countries within 2 years. Boyede was the one who registered my MIBS, manufacture in Bonn. I insisted before I joined Cowbell that things don't work here if you don't move me to Benin Republic. Move this thing under ECOWAS ETLS. Move it to the Francophone countries, I will not give you results. Then we talk of inspection. When they are sometimes inspection not even carried. At the end of the certificates are acquired. And when we have rejections, they will go on that and leave the exporters alone. And I'll be talking to exporter. If you get certificate of origin and you get any certificate for any MDA, come and meet me, I will take it. I will lead you to a lawyer. Because we cannot continue like this, that some of us go to the UN, we go to Oxford and all that, we talk the club for us, and there's no result at all. Another painful aspect of it is that the MDAs have no target, and they still run this country not knowing that we have a foreign policy that is not tied to trade policy, so economic discipline. They don't know that trade is a battleground. We have the head of the WTO, and she's preaching that we have bilateral, multilateral, and plurilateral. The summary of the whole thing is that there's nothing like free trade. It's only fair trade when you are prepared. When you now talk of markets, I can give you about 40 markets and about 100 ways of doing costing. The issue of rejection was what we worked on for 5 years. It is wrong in this country for people to come and be giving us Canadian or American standard. It is not you to give standard. General Ibrahim Babangida came up with NAFDAC, raw material and all that, for them to support importers. That was part of the requirement we were looking, we discussed with General Babangida, EcoBank, and all that, so that we'll be able to fly in West Africa. They have now moved into the port. Instead of doing, they can only inspect goods of export if they are invited. You cannot determine, because if I am looking at animals, already animal, I can look for grade 3 cocoa to move out of this country. The days of commodity board we are not. Export is still very disjointed, and Export Promotion Council is being overloaded. There are no leakages because the farmer has no technical school, nobody is supporting in terms of seedling, infrastructure, fertilizer, packaging. Those who are exporting don't even know the Ecoterm to use on the destination. Those in the domestic market and those who are into export, there is no leakage or target to the ambassador. Finally, on the area of Australia, I can give you more than 100 examples. I just give you one.
Okay.
What is the role of NEPC? Is clear. What is the role of NETIM? Also clear. What is the role of Central Bank? That is now taking the job and making it difficult for us. The event we had in Lagos, that was when our guy, the NEPC boss, was in Togo. And it was the bankers that were clapping. Are they exporters? Are you taking my job? Or are you taking responsibility? Is it your duty to give a target? Okay. Assets market, we are going to look at that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Like I said, we are bringing back this session because a lot of messages coming in. We really need more of this. Thank you so very much for being a supporter. We are closing this down by 1:40. We have just 8 more minutes to go. Meanwhile, I have from Sani Tahir Hamid. Nigeria has a bilateral agreement with 18 countries, and it has an MOU agreement with how many countries, please? Is there an answer for this? Any of the 3 or 4 can jump in?
Yes.
Okay, 1 minute.
As the former director of NASIMA.
Okay.
As the former director of NASIMA, you cannot, what I have in mind, people sign agreements and put in their private pocket and begin to organize trade fair and trade mission with it. Nobody can give you a concrete answer because as I'm talking to you now, we have over more than 600 agreements. So in 2030, I wrote a letter to President Jonathan and copy Aganga. Eboede was in that office. That let us know those who are running business in Nigeria. In the Francophone, like Benin Republic, you have only one chamber. Ogun State alone, you have 7 chambers. Very many of these chambers across Nigeria are not registered with the CAC, and they go about organizing fair, taking people. These are the things. So we need to close ranks if we want to be serious in business. Those who are in charge, let them take their responsibility.
Okay, thank you so very much. Elizabeth Auckland, I see your hand up. You want to say something? You have a question, a comment? Your hand has been up for a very long time. Thanks for your patience. Elizabeth? Okay, Henry Otowo, thank you for.
Yes, I was actually the person that mentioned the issue of BTS.
Okay.
I said Nigeria has signed 16 BTS and 9 MOU agreements with different countries. And then Nigeria has also 13 bilateral investment treaties, which are at various stages of implementation, and 13 double taxation agreements with various countries.
Thank you so very much. So from Aderoke Alabi,
good afternoon, everyone.
Hold on, Elizabeth. I see you. I'll acknowledge you in a minute. So Aderoke Alabi says, are there avenues for new exporters to learn the ropes from the old exporters as per certifications, especially for wheelbarrow exporters? Answers?
Can I come in?
Yeah. Elizabeth, please.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
I'm
afternoon, 1 minute.
Yeah. Oakland Best Limited. I've had series of challenges as well. And like the toothpaste man has said, that the country rules differs from one country to another. So I would advise that the diasporas in those countries work with us to get things done, because recently we had some registration to do with UK in terms of shea butter and black soap. And we've been on this process since December. It is just now they are profiling our labeling. Without somebody on the other side supporting somebody on this side, it can be a little bit difficult. And when you are talking about Costco, I'm expecting Nigerian Sports Promotion Council to do that bit. The essence of the expansion grants can actually cover things like that. When you have a genuine case, I'm expecting that, as I call him, Professor Boyede, should be able to help us, as you have always helped, to look into it and present his case to the authority that this case is genuine. Why can't we support this man to get into international markets? Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for keeping to time. And I see another comment. She said, Lady K, we should have a warm group to take up the export under your supervision. Please, we need your support. Femi Boyede, that's to you. And I see another one who's going to answer.
Lady K, not Femi Boyede.
Sir?
The request was specific, Lady K, under your leadership.
She's asking me the question. Because I'm the one reading the question. So you guys are the ones that are supposed to answer. Do you have an answer for her now? Before you go to that, Omolara Konji says we must call the CBN to strictly stay in their call. They are yet to approve in Kutam 2020. Wow, that's long. Okay, so now I leave room like 2 more minutes for Femi Boyede, Henry, and our dear lady to please wrap up.
Yes, Akonji, come up. She's listed quite a few points in the chat box that are pertinent. Thanks.
Okay, we are wrapping up now because today, like I said, it's been so packed, so fulfilling. But we still have, you can see it's like just a tip of the iceberg today, right? We just have to bring this back in a richer format for everyone to be able to participate. We can see you have many questions. So please, Harry Otowo, you have a last minute thing to say for today? Because definitely we just have to bring you back. So
yes, I want to, the comment I have is on the chat box where one of the exporters said whether they have any needs for new exporters to learn the ropes. Of course, NEPC has, a lot of training programs for new exporters. And again, you can reach out or check NEPC website for some of those programs. And then with regard to certification of our products, of course, all the regulatory bodies have their websites where adequate information can be gleaned from there, from NAFDAC to SON to Federal Produce Inspection Service to Plant Quarantine, National Commission for Museums and Monuments, and a host of others. They have websites where information with respect to certification of exportable products can be gotten from.
thank you very much. Adamu Mohammed, you have your hand on. Your hand on has been on for quite some time. You have a comment or a question? 1 minute, please.
Well, thank you. Well, I wanted to elaborate on some few things, but due to the time factor, I'm from Geneva, so I just wish to commend the organizers. Of course, this is a very good topic, export survival and market access. Of course, there couldn't be any better topic than this that you have presented, and I think it should be sustained. It should be a continued one, not only within the webinar, but I believe that there should be a program in the national television of Nigeria that this program should be on, so that the exporters who have been facing some challenges due to massive knowledge
His Excellency was here.
should be able to yeah, you sent invitation to me and I decided to join. I really enjoyed the program. So thank you so much. The time is very limited. Otherwise, I needed to highlight some few things, especially the intervention by Harry Otowo, whom highlighted some few WTO agreements that have some impact on exports. Well, maybe another time I will be able to give more elaboration to that. But honestly, the topic covered is very important. And as I said, that the organizers should not only limit it within the webinar program, it should go into the national televisions so that the exporters should be able to have more in-depth into all this information. Because over the years, we've observed the exporters' challenges are really lack of adequate knowledge of export businesses. So many want to be into the export businesses, but they will not really do some groundwork to start the businesses. So these are the challenges which some of them are facing in terms of most of these exports reject. So it's important that a massive sensitization and so on should continue, so that our exporters will have adequate and required knowledge of the export requirements, so that they wouldn't have been facing some hitches. Of course, every country needs to export for them to get foreign exchange to develop. All right. So, and therefore, market access, there must be certain procedures and knowledge that you need to know before you get market access. So, therefore, those are the key things I think we need to leverage on, so that all exporters should know. And the information provided by Dr. Boyede, I think most professionals like you in the field who have knowledge of some of those information that are lacking, I think it's your responsibility to help the country to be passing those information, like the one you pointed on Canada, that the list, which doesn't have any of the Nigerian products. So I believe that the Export Promotion Council should know of this, the NAFDAC should know of this, so that the needful should be done,
okay,
so that the Nigerian product should be there. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We truly appreciate this. I can see that Femi Boyede, are you there? Femi Boyede, can you hear me? I can see your head. Speak, say something. Uh-oh, he's not hearing us, but we can hear him clearly. And okay, so Mrs. Solari, you want to quickly say something? Femi Boyede. Okay,
Thank
you still cannot
you,
hear.
ma'am. It's been a pleasure among the generals of
Thank
export, but unfortunately my network, I'm having to use my phone now. I had to log out of the laptop and I've been trying for over 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But having said that, it pains me that we couldn't talk about so much. But one thing I want to say is that the organized private sector, everyone should come on board. We need to help NEPC. As government agencies, there's little, I worked with the government before, that NEPC can do to other agencies. But if the exporters, those of us who feel the pain, Mr. Boyede was talking like what people have done. I've had to sell shares that I bought, Oando that I bought 22 naira, 3 naira last year to be able to add it to what I do. I've had to sell a vehicle to add it to what I do.
Okay.
With all that one, I still got one. I had issues. The guest appearance that the ED CEO, Dr. Ezra, made here that I complained, and he said I should write the report, and I did. Last week, the matter was, they asked Mr. Faleke to resolve the matter. So
Okay.
the man involved is asking me, so we're meeting next week, and I will report back. So thank you so much for this forum. I appreciate you all.
Thank you so very much. Honestly, it's obvious from what we are having today that, anyway, it's been said earlier that we should just make this like the beginning and have more of this same topic. We just have to do this.